on, Pocket Theory? It's your main man, Suds, coming to you from my home office here in Austin, Texas. I'm back. You may have noticed that I've been absent for a short period of time. What was I doing? Why was I not making videos? I got a job. For those of you who've been paying attention, I was actually unemployed for an entire year. I didn't have a job for all of 2024. I was just being a bum, not working. I now have a full-time job. Is it a great job? Not really. Is it a crappy job? No, it's actually a pretty cool job. I get to, work from home. I get to take breaks and walk around my backyard, hang out with my cat, shit like that. So I am now, have returned to full-time employment. And I decided to take a little bit of time off from creating videos, but I'm back, baby. I'm back to create some stuff. I'm wearing pink. It is April. Easter is right around the corner. I've got my Easter carry on the pouch plate. My pink and blue Easter-themed carry with a little bit of donut flair to it. I've got this awesome patch from the crispy donut community. I got the Viperade VE15 pouch. I've got my Boker mini Kalashnikov in the Desert Warrior pink and blue. I love this knife. And I've also got a Big Idea Design pen, also in the Desert Warrior. Love Big Idea Design. They make great stuff. And then, of course, I've got my Olight i3T in the pink donut. That's what I'm carrying for Easter. What are you guys carrying? What are we talking about today? We're talking about hip bags, waist packs, belt bags, moon bags, belly bags, bum bags, fanny packs, sling bags. Where do they come from? Why are they here? Are they just for men of a certain age, or are they being embraced by the younger generation as a very handy tool and something that, makes your everyday carry kind of awesome? We're going to find out today. Now, waist packs have been around for a long time. Somebody in ancient Egypt probably had a hip pack. In fact, we know human beings have been carrying items on their waist since before recorded history. And who do we have to thank for this knowledge? The Iceman. Ice, baby. No.
You're everyone's problem.
Rest in peace, Val, but no.
Ice, baby.
Kuklinski. Richard Kuklinski. Jesus, no wonder he turned into a psychopath with a name like that. No, not that guy either. Okay, you're actually getting closer.
We's a little juice.
God damn it. No!
See ya, dick.
The 90s always makes it weird, doesn't it? No, we're talking about Ötzi the Iceman. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Well, according to Google AI, it's pronounced Ötzi, which rhymes with Tootsie, like Tootsie Roll. He had the courtesy to die at a high elevation in northern Italy near Liechtenstein in Austria in the Ötztal Alps, hence the name Ötzi. He was frozen in ice below the torso, which is why his body was so well preserved. I mean, look at the sexy hips on this guy. He was discovered in 1991, and he has been studied extensively, including this dramatic recreation of what he may have looked like, which includes a recreation of the outfit he was wearing. He did die violently in his 40s. They found homeboy with an arrow in his back, so it's very likely he cheated somebody at cards and then he was killed by a fellow human being. He was about 5 feet 2 inches tall. They had shitty nutrition back then. He had dozens of tattoos, and in addition to that super sexy set of assless chocks he's wearing, he was rocking a sheepskin loincloth, a bearskin hat, numerous items secured to his waist, including a belt pouch. Now, bags have been attached to belts since antiquity in many cultures. One of the origins was the Native American buffalo pouch, which was used instead of sewing pockets into clothing. Buffalo pouches were worn outside. They were carried on the front of the chest with a strap or a lanyard. The Scottish sporran is a very similar belted pouch that survived because people were wearing kilts in Scotland. In 1954, a skier's leather fanny pack appeared in the Sports Illustrated Christmas shopping guide. It was sold for $10. Yes, they called it a fanny pack. That was the official branding. It was designed for cross-country skiers' lunch and ski wax, so it was just meant to hold those items. And it also became very useful for cyclists, hikers, equestrians, which are horse riders. By 1988, fanny packs were being called the product of the year. They started being made with modern materials like nylon. The 80s was definitely a golden age for the modern fanny pack, but not everybody was on board with this fashion trend. In the 80s and 90s, it was not uncommon for a fanny pack to be referred to as a fag bag. I didn't invent the term, okay? I didn't make it up. Don't cancel me. I'm just telling you what people used to say. Obviously, I think that's kind of an ugly pejorative.
Highly efficient JanSport fanny pack.
But there were people who just didn't like the idea of fanny packs at all. And somewhere in the 90s, we hit a tipping point. I'm not sure who's to blame. If you smell it! Somewhere around that time, in the late 90s, fanny packs became very uncool, and we entered a period of fanny pack dark ages, which is the 2000s and most of the 2010s. The fanny pack fell out of fashion completely. It was like the butt of jokes in Weird Al Yankovic's White and Nerdy video.
Yo, I got myself a fanny pack.
Nobody was really wearing them. Somewhere in the late 2010s, there was a comeback era. The fanny packs made a comeback. In July 2018, the Boston Globe officially reported that fanny packs were back in vogue. And all of a sudden, it was cool to rock a fanny pack again. And then somewhere around the pandemic, we had what I refer to as the great rebranding. Now, where we live today in the EDC community is, we like to steal a little bit of operator jargon and slap it onto a product. So the fanny pack is now a tactical operator sling bag, a chest rig, whatever you want to call it. Fanny packs are back. I love mine. Mine is not going anywhere. I'm going to keep using it. It's especially great for hikes and day trips and festivals and things like that. We're going back to the Tinker Closet to take a closer look at my fanny pack, the Vanquest Dendrite. I featured it in a few videos before. We're about to take a closer look today. You're coming with me. Let's go.
Homeboy, this.
This is my Vanquest Dendrite. This is actually my preferred fanny pack / sling bag, whatever you want to call it. Why do I like the Vanquest Dendrite so much? Why do I love it? Well, first and foremost, it is insanely well constructed. The materials that they use are all first-rate, top-notch. It's Vanquest. It's a brand that you can trust. But the main reason that I absolutely love this sling bag, aside from the Cordura nylon and all the other materials, they have the best straps in the sling bag game. This is literally seatbelt material. This is the same shit that you'd find in a car for a seatbelt. There is no way that you're going to be able to accidentally rip this or shred it. You're going to have to use a very nice knife to cut through this. These are the best straps in the sling bag game. There are a few other companies that are using seatbelt type material to use their straps, but there are more sort of tactically themed, I guess you'd say, and they're a bit more expensive. Vanquest is the best price for the bang for your buck that you can get, especially with regard to straps. And oh, are you a little bit overweight? When I first got this bag, I was 100 pounds heavier. They do sell strap extenders for all the fatties. I don't know how else to say it. I used to be a lot fatter. I'm still a fat guy. And you can get a strap extender. So even if you're carrying it as across the chest rig or around your waist, that strap extender gives you like 6 to 8 inches of extra length. When I first got this sling bag, I did something stupid where I kind of ended up dragging this, and I'm not going to tell you the whole story of how that happened. I'm just going to summarize it like this. I'm a moron.
Mentally retarded.
So in order to kind of shape up the top, I didn't want to get rid of this. There was actually a hole that kind of got dragged in this, and you can see some scuff marks. I just added a panel of hook and loop to the front with industrial adhesive. I secured it to the front, and now I have a place that I can use patches like my awesome Stay Rad patch. This thing is still pretty great. I could have scrapped it, but 2025 is the year that we use what we have. See, we have a job again. I got caught in a cycle of consumerism and consumption, and now 2025 is the year that I make repairs and I use what I have. That includes this Vanquest Dendrite. So I'm just going to jump in and show you exactly how I keep my Dendrite organized. First and foremost, the front pouch. I've just got a little card carrier in here. These are some cards. I've got my driver's license, some Pocket Theory business cards, just in case I need to do some business. And then I've got some room back here for some credit cards, my pinballs cards if I feel like playing some pinball. That's what I'm keeping in this front pouch area. But there's all kinds of stuff you can keep in here. back here in the back, there's a little secret pouch that the Dendrite has where it's easy to stash some backup credit cards and a little bit of cash money, you know what I'm saying? But you could also put a passport back there. When I was in Japan, I had my passport on there at all times. That's what you can do with that secret back pouch, especially if you're worried about keeping things secure like the cash or the cards. And then let's dive right into the middle, shall we? Boom! As you can see, I have this pretty well organized, and I use a system with pouches, these Manhattan Portage coin purses. So right up in the middle pouch, I've got my sunglasses case. This is a hard case. You can get these on Amazon, not that expensive. I just put a County Com sticker on there. But I keep my sunglasses in here, some Tito's vodka sunglasses, and some lens wipes, just in case I need to get those cleaned up. And then over in this area, I'm just gonna pull this in front. I've got in these pouches a boo-boo kit and a hygiene kit. But then in these front straps, I also have some items that I might want to grab. It is Easter time, so I do have my fun little Kubey Belus knife. Oh, that is a sweet looking knife right there. I love this knife, especially this time of year. It goes very well with an Easter theme. Right here, I've got my MicroGyver. This is just some handy items that you might need to fix things or repair things while you're out and about. I've also got a Bic Lighter. We all know why those are great. And an i3T. I always want to have a flashlight on me. This is my favorite EDC flashlight. That's just a fun color combination for this time of year. Up here in this front pouch, I've got a power bank and a cable. This is just a Nitecore power bank. This is not the newest version of this power bank, but it is a very cool version of the power bank. Keeps your phone charged, keeps all your devices charged. I've got the power cable for that. I've got a little adapter as well. If you're out on a day trip and you're gone and you're away from like outlets and stuff all day. In this black pouch, this is just a hygiene pouch here from Manhattan Portage. I've got some lip balm. I've got some deodorant. Yeah, that's right. I have a little deodorant that I squeezed into that. I've got some Tums, a little emery board for my nails. I've got some fingernail clippers, and these are actually nice fingernail clippers, so if I'm out and about, I can do a good job getting my nails trimmed. I've got a good pair of tweezers from Tweezerman. These are great. And then I've got some pill canisters. This has like prescription medicine, and this has over-the-counter medicine. And then, of course, I've got the metal toothpick. This is one of the most underrated EDC items that everybody should carry, is some kind of device to pick at your teeth so you don't have shit caught in your teeth all day. In the red pouch over here, I just have a standard boo-boo kit. Now, I stay standard, but when you really dig into what I have, I've got all kinds of really top-of-the-line first aid materials. I've got some really good steri strips in there. I've got some nice silicone foam dressings. I've got some high-quality Band-Aids. I've got all kinds of ointments and things that you can put on. And I've got these, like, very high-quality non-colloidal, I don't know what they call them, like kind of Band-Aids, but they're very, very good quality. They basically keep all your boo-boos good. So everybody should have a boo-boo kit. And then here is one of the best features of the Vanquest Dendrite. This whole back panel is you're able to use hook and loop with it. So I have one of these hook and loop organizers. It's leather and it's got the elastic straps. I've got a pry bar right in there. Very handy. I've got a backup flashlight. You never know when you're going to need it. I've got a zebra pen. These are great pens. And guys, in case you guys don't know, great EDC pens, very lightweight, collapse down to nothing. And then I've got the SOG PowerPint in black. And of course, gosh, I got stuff flying everywhere. With that, I've also got my bit kit. This is the Steinwhale Bits. So you got a bunch of bit options and a bit extender on that. And that's all the gear that I can fit inside of this Vanquest Dendrite. That is a pretty nice haul. Just gonna put all this shit back inside. We'll do that trick where I fast forward as I do it. And that's how I carry it, right? I replaced these zipper pulls with my own paracord zipper pulls, and of course I did add the hook and loop to the front, but that's exactly how I carry my Vanquest Dendrite. Now, there is one other variation that you can consider if you don't like the idea of carrying your sunglasses in a hard case on the inside. You can use a soft case like this and secure the soft case to the strap on the outside of the bag. Now, you freed up a little bit more room on the inside for a couple more pouches. Like, for example, I've got my music pouch, which as you can see, I have a bunch of little iPod minis with different genres of music, rap, lounge, rock and roll, and some headphone options. I can stick that pouch in there. And then I've got my power pouch, the green pouch. I've got a couple cable options and a charging block in there. I can charge my phone, I can charge my watch. And now look at that. You can fit 4 of those Manhattan Portage coin purses on the inside and still get this zipped up with no problem. You've got your sunglasses on the strap. And then one other thing that I like to do, one variation that I like, is look at this. I got my little Boker little friend fixed blade Kydex sheath. You can just secure that to the outside, and now you've got a fixed blade on the outside of your hip pack. You can just throw this over your chest. You can throw this around your waist, and you've got a whole day's worth of gear. You're not going to have to worry about leaving anything at home. That's why I carry a fanny pack. That's why I love fanny packs. That's why this thing is not going anywhere. It's here to stay.
I'm the people's choice.
Thank you for letting me be myself. I wanna thank you.
Fanny packs, bum bags, hip packs, waist packs, tactical sling bags, chest bags, whatever you want to call them. I think they're here to stay. I think, as we've demonstrated in today's video, they are a very handy tool. They're something that's very easy to carry. You just strap it to your waist, you throw it over your shoulder, and then you have an expanded place to put all of your items that you want to carry with you without having to bulk out your pockets. So, are you rocking a hip pack? How are you carrying it? What are you putting inside of it? How do you organize things? Send me some pictures. Send me a short, like 1-minute video clip of what you're doing with your hip pack, your fanny pack, your sling bag. Send that to pockettheoryedc@gmail.com. I may feature your content in a future video, but I just kind of want to check out and see what other people are doing. When it comes to carrying a fanny pack, just remember, think outside the box. Be creative with your gear and have fun with your EDC. This is Suds with Pocket Theory.
Drop that 0 and get with the hero.
Carry what you want.